Hey mamas, if you're looking for a creative outlet to jump into the entrepreneurial pool, or you want to be inspired by a fantastic momtrepreneur, Layla Lisiewski is with us today. She is the founder of the Local Moms Network. Stay tuned to learn all about it. So for the mamas who don't know, what is the Local Moms Network?
So the Local Moms Network provides a comprehensive collection of resources about the local community for local moms. We are basically reinventing the way that parents receive or get resources in their local communities.
So is this something, I know that you have so many chapters out there, how many local mom websites are there right now?
So we have 70 live. We have 12 that will be up and running, 12 more that will be up and running in 2 weeks. Last year, in January of 2018, we had 8.
Wow.
So we had exponential growth in 2018.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to get into your secret sauce to business success, because that's amazing growth in such a short period of time. But for the mamas out there who are watching and they want to join the Local Moms Network and own what I'm calling a chapter, what can they do? So I'm sitting around in my old hood in Marine Park, Brooklyn, what up? And I want a hyper-local Local Moms Network there. What do I need to do?
Sure. So we streamline the onboarding and recruiting process. So we do interviews. If it's not necessarily right next door, we do Skype or Zoom. And it's a relatively easy process. We want to get to know you. We want to see that you have your eyes and ears to the ground in your community, and that you're well embedded and have a love and passion for the place that you live in. Once the onboarding and recruiting is done, you're basically handed a platform. You are knowledgeable about what goes in on the back end of a website and how to put an ad on a website and how to manage your social, and it's an all-encompassing onboarding process.
So I have a phrase that I like to say to myself: if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. But you said a few good things. You talked about onboarding, advertising. So what does the financial structure look like for the mom who is launching a hyper-local chapter in her town?
Right. So I think a big part of this is the network creates jobs for a lot of moms who have worked in the past, may have taken a break during early years of motherhood. And it gives them an opportunity to not only build a platform, but build their voice within their community. With that said, they're building their business. We offer a number of streams of revenue in order to make it profitable for that mother, and it's also perfect for their schedule. If they have time on a Sunday night when they have an extra set of hands or the kids are asleep, they can schedule things for the week. But I do think that it is offering an option for these moms who are very smart, very savvy, have wonderful business backgrounds, to build something in their community and to provide a resource.
So it sounds like what you put in, you get out, and there's no sort of set amount of, you have to put an X number of hours into your particular Local Moms Network.
Correct. We don't set benchmarks. I think you'll realize how much work you put into it. You're going to want to get it somewhere.
So let's talk about how this all started, because you are actually the founder of a website called Greenwich Moms. That was your original, I call businesses babies. That was your original baby. When did you launch that website, and then how did you know that you were onto something bigger than just GreenwichMoms.com?
So originally, Greenwich was a wonderful suburb of New York, and I think that the cities had a lot of resources for new moms, and not even new moms, just having everything all in one place. The suburbs were lacking. So when we first started Greenwich Moms, we started aggregating a lot of information. We have a kid-friendly events calendar, we had blog posts, we had social, we had you meet a new mom in town every other week. With that said, once we sort of solidified a very strong platform in Greenwich, we found that other suburbs, happened to be of New York at the time, were also interested in building the same thing. There were moms that were reaching out and really looking to create a similar platform in their area.
So did the moms who wanted to create these platforms come to you? Did you start seeking them out? How did that sort of happen?
It was a very organic process. I think that we weren't really seeking anyone out at the beginning.
You didn't knock on doors?
No, we did not knock on doors. We did have a lot of interest from New Canaan and Darien and Westport.
And these are, for those of you guys who don't know, these are all areas in Connecticut and New Jersey, around where we are right now.
So yes, it was mainly in the tri-state area, but it was mainly friends of friends or friends who had seen our platform and were interested in bringing this to their town.
So how old are your kids right now?
I have a 6-year-old, a 5-year-old, and an almost 2-year-old.
And I'm sure you're doing a great job juggling all that and balancing it at the same exact time.
Yes, of course.
Of course. What would you say is the biggest challenge of being a momtrepreneur?
Not enough hours in the day. I do think that, we are looking to do everything 100% as moms, and I think that in order to do that, you have to not only be multitasking, but you also just need to have patience and take into account that not everything can be done perfectly.
I love that you said this great quote before we went live, before we started taping, which is you have to be okay with not being 100% all the time.
Yes.
And how do you cope with that? Because you seem like a type A. I'm gonna get this. So I should actually just put in the fact that so you were in finance, then you were a successful artist in New York. Now you've launched Local Moms Network. So how do you deal with not being 100%?
It's a mental game. I think that it's definitely something that I don't necessarily believe that balance is a real thing. I think that every day there's a new challenge. But I do believe that, for example, as a mom working a lot from home, I am constantly reminded by my children what's important. And I think that that's where, there's a lot of struggle, don't get me wrong, but I do think that it is a welcome reminder of what's important in life. In that sense, I've definitely become a little bit less type A. I'm still type A, but a little bit less.
I'm an A minus. I'm
like an A minus.
Not even a B plus, I'm just an A minus.
Right. I want to be there for pickups and drop-offs. I want to be there to, whether or not dinner is coming from scratch or from Wendy's. I mean, it's...
Don't knock it.
Yeah. We're on the spectrum.
Is there food on the table?
Oh, well, exactly.
There you go. As long as there's food on the table.
As long as they're eating.
As long as they're eating something. So what would you say is your biggest business obstacle right now? Because you're sort of at a point where there's a lot of expansion. You had mentioned that there's new sites launching 12 in the coming months.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest challenge right now?
I think definitely as we grow, there wasn't necessarily a structural challenge because I think we've actually been able to solidify that, but the only way that we've been able to do that was to overcome our challenge of me not being able to delegate. And I think that what was fantastic about this is I grew so much as a mom and as a person going through the process of building a startup because I recognized my weaknesses. And I was able to find a wonderful, solid team of women who are also moms, who bring a ton to the table, and they make up for my weaknesses. And it's just been it's been a welcome experience that I will forever appreciate.
So I love two things. I love that you sort of acknowledge, we can't always acknowledge our weaknesses, and I think that's a really good thing, but also that you're bringing not only with your websites of moms, but even within your existing corporate structure, other moms to help you. What would you say are some of the skill sets that moms have that make them better coworkers or for you a better leader for your team?
I do think patience is a big wonderful characteristic.
Yeah.
Just taking a deep breath sometimes. As you can imagine, there are a lot of personalities in women-owned, women-run businesses. I do think that someone who is good at time management, someone who's solid and just creative, and someone who has the ability to switch gears as a mom. You're never able to focus for more than an hour, if that.
An hour?
If that. Even if you're locking yourself in a closet to work. But I think those are probably I think the creative, looking to always grow not only the company, but also yourself.
Now, what would you say is your secret sauce to business success?
My team. I think our team is instrumental in terms of growing the business. Not only, it doesn't even matter like what time in terms of where we are in the process. I think it's to be able to delegate, to be able to find your core team, to be able to bring this to the next level. That is a huge step. I mean, we will come across challenges, but as long as we go through them together, the chances of us surviving are much higher.
Thriving with the team, right?
Yes.
And as far as thriving on the home front, what lets you be mom boss? What lets you be the hustler outside the home? Enter pause.
Enter pause. I never consider myself a mom boss. Like, the word boss to me has sort of never entered my vocabulary.
What would you call yourself?
Other than a mom? A hardworking mom?
I love that. Are you good at staffing up inside the home?
No.
So we finally got to it.
Yeah, I don't really have anyone at home. I mean, I do right now, but
They're not. Your 6-year-old, your 5-year-old, and your 2-year-old are not alone.
yeah,
So
they're
we
not
established
alone.
that.
They're not alone.
Please don't come looking for her
Yes.
services.
Yes, they're fine. They're all healthy. They're fed. They're good.
Got that out there. What is something that you do, Layla, for yourself to be a sane, healthy, happy human?
I do 2 things. One, I have music going first thing in the morning on Alexa.
Ooh.
And my kids and I, if we have the energy to, we dance a little bit while we're having breakfast.
I like that.
Yeah. Not the most traditional breakfast, but we are all together. And number 2 is to play tennis regularly. And by regularly, I mean once a week for an hour and a half. And it makes or breaks my week. I'm competitive by nature.
You don't say.
Yeah.
I didn't get any of that.
None of that.
No.
So I think that it's my release. And it's also fun because there are a lot of moms that I wouldn't necessarily see at the schools or that my kids are at, or at lunch or anything. It's really just to dive into something that I truly enjoy once a week.
Layla, thank you so much for sitting down with me to share your Hustle Like a Mom inspiration with all the mamas out there. So tell us one more time where they can find you on Instagram, the website.
The website is thelocalmomsnetwork.com. The Instagram is also thelocalmomsnetwork.com. On the website, you can actually search for your location, and if we're not in your location, please feel free to email us, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Ding, 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 business opportunities. And as always, I'm at Pamela Pekerman on Instagram. You are watching this either on my website, PamelaPekerman.com, or you're on YouTube.com/Pamela Pekerman. Either way, subscribe to the website, subscribe to YouTube, find me, find her, keep motivation, keep on hustling your own special way.